I treat every patient how I'd like to be treated coming into a hospital setting. I don't want to treat anybody any differently than I would want myself to be treated. So in that aspect, I just make sure that I would treat them the same way that I would treat myself, my family, any of my friends. My name is Michelle Billings, and I've been at St. James. It'll be 2 years in January. I work in the lab. We have a new title. It's SPPT. Basically phlebotomists. We receive in specimens from all the offices. We do a lot of stuff. Registration. We're a jack of all trades. My favorite by far would have to be the patient contact and the drawing blood. I absolutely love to draw blood. It's not everyone's favorite. The best way is just to make sure they're comfortable. Make sure that you got to have trust. They got to trust you. You can tell when they're nervous when they first come in. We have people who pass out. We have people who get queasy, and it's all comfort, making them feel comfortable, and especially the first times, you just gotta let them know it's okay. A patient who's really scared, I definitely, especially if it's a young child, I always explain what's going to happen. I never surprise them. I never want to just spring it on them. I explain what's going to happen. I tell them it's going to be a small pinch, and if they need time, we give them time. Sometimes the parents are a little nervous, and that in turn makes the child more nervous. So we just try to comfort them, explain what's happening, why it's happening, and that, as long as they hold nice and still, it'll be over real quick. I believe the qualities you have to have, you definitely have to be passionate and sympathetic towards the patient and understand where they're coming from, why they're nervous. Some patients are going through things that you don't know. They're getting testing done that's pretty serious, and I always make sure that I want to respect them and make them feel not a burden, I guess. I want to make them feel that they're top priority and I'm here for them. I think it's important because it keeps the patients coming back. It keeps them the trust in you, the comfort, knowing that they're getting good care, that they're not just another blood draw, that they're actually being cared about. It absolutely makes you feel good. It makes you feel that what you're doing is worth it. It's making a difference. It makes me feel good to know that I'm helping out, I'm helping them, helping the lab, the hospital. Just, it's a good feeling, an accomplished feeling, I guess.
The biggest thing is the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I treat every patient as if they were a family member of mine. And I never forget any patient that I've ever met. I've been here for a few years now, and I've got a chance to meet so many people, and I never forget anybody that I've taken care of. And I always, and they remember me, and I remember them. So it's the golden rule is the big one. My name is David Webb, and I am a clinical support technician on the Progressive Care Unit here at St. James Mercy Hospital. A clinical support technician is a new term that they call us. The old term was nurse's aide, or orderly if we want to go even real old. It goes to orderly. But yeah, so I do direct patient care, help them move around, get them up out of bed, help clean them, help make sure that they're comfortable. Really, I work at the discretion of the nurses and the doctors and the patient. I consider myself pretty lucky because my specific position as an aide or clinical support technician puts me in direct patient contact. That's my sole job. So I get to have all the fun of talking with patients and helping patients and doing a lot of the care with patients directly. Whatever needs to be done with patient care I'm the first line of defense for that. Sometimes you're dealing with somebody who's extremely ill, and their family's very, very upset, or their minds are preoccupied with their family member. I work to make them just as comfortable as the patient that's there, because it's a family thing. Everybody goes through this together, and I think that the more that I share of myself with them and they share of their self with me, it becomes more of a real friendship sort of environment. It doesn't feel, and it feels comfortable. It feels as if you know somebody and they know you, and they smile and I smile, and it just makes the day go by great. My favorite part of the job is the involvement with people, is getting to know people's stories, learning about how Hornell used to be back in the 30s and 40s and the time. I mean, I'm not from Hornell, so I get to learn about the area and about the people from the folks that I get to take care of. I'm a history buff, so I like that. My father suffered a stroke many years ago. He's since passed away, but I helped take care of him for 8 years after he had a stroke. And I remember specifically at the time, I was helping him get ready in the morning for the day, and I was going to put him in his wheelchair. And I remember putting his shoes on, and he looked down at me and he tapped me with his elbow, and he says, "Hey, you should be doing this." And I never forgot that. And that was probably back in the early 90s. I wasn't even living in the state. I had a whole other career at the time. And then when I got here and got involved with the hospital, it just became a good fit for me. I enjoy it. Yeah, the teamwork that I deal with is, because I do work a couple different, I've worked in the ASU, the same-day surgery unit. I've worked in purchasing, I've worked in med-surg, I've worked in new progressive care, I worked in the old ICU. So I've worked at a bunch of different departments around the hospital, all pretty much directly patient-related. The people that I work with are incredible. It's the people that I work with as well as the patients that keep me coming here every day. It's an incredibly dedicated group of people that I work with, doctors, nurses, other clinicians, the respiratory therapists, the x-ray technicians. It just really is a good cohesive group. And I've never seen, in the time that I've been here, I've never seen anything that couldn't be accomplished with teamwork. What makes me feel good at the end of the day when I'm home is that I got a chance to give of myself to another human being that needed it. And for me, at the end of the day, there could be no better thing. I sleep well at night. I know that I put forth the very best effort that I can here, and I know it's a good day's work, and I know that I made a difference. Maybe a small difference, but some difference.